As attention switches back to the Europa League, it is an all-London affair out in Azerbaijan. Who's going to win? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Arsenal? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video, this time looking forward to the old Europa League, boys and girls, 2019 Europa League final out in Azerbaijan, Baku, with Chelsea and Arsenal duking it out, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Europa League related, Blackburn Rovers related, woo, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now, before we take a look at my final predictions for this tournament, we're going to take a look back at how we got there, boys and girls, and what a couple of semi-finals we had up our sleeves. Let's take a look at it. First and foremost, it was Valencia up against Arsenal over in Spain, and obviously Arsenal coming into this with a 3-1 lead from the first leg at the Emirates, and it ended up as a 4-2 win for the Gooners to set themselves up for a final. This is Unai Emery's final, boys and girls. I should rename the trophy after him because he's won it so many times with Sevilla. Who else did? I think he won it with somebody else. I can't think of it right now. But Unai Emery is the man. He's back once again, but this time with Arsenal, and this could be their sneaky way back into the Champions League final, or Champions League, if they were to come out and win the trophy. We'll talk more about that in a second. I actually saw it as a 2-0 win for Valencia, and if that result had stood its test, of course, or whatever, it would have still sent Arsenal through to the final. So ultimately, I kind of got the right passage for Arsenal. It just, realistically, they absolutely thumped Valencia over the two legs. So, yeah, Arsenal were there, but who's going to join them? Obviously, we already know. It is Chelsea. On this game actually finished 1-1, just like a carbon copy of the first leg out in Germany. But this game went a little bit further into extra time and penalties, and Chelsea doing the number over Frankfurt to get themselves through. I actually saw it as a two goals in this bad boy, but it didn't distribute them correctly. I saw it as a 2-0 victory for Frankfurt, which would have sent them through to the final to take on Arsenal. But no, it is Chelsea who are there, and they will take on Arsenal for the third time this season. And speaking of the third time, let's take a look at the grand plan of these two sides over the history of time. According to my mathematics, which is absolutely horrific, they've played each other 167 times in all competitions, maybe. You know, you could do the math. But the grand plan, what I'm trying to get at is Arsenal won 77 of the fixtures between the two sides. Chelsea won 63, and they've drawn 57 in all competitions. But what about this year, boys and girls? They've played each other twice, obviously. They didn't feature in any of the cups, I don't think. All is good. They did not play each other. Well, according to my knowledge, they did not play each other in any cup competitions this season. So the two results in the league ended like this. Chelsea winning the game at Stamford Bridge 3-2. It was a close one, just the one goal in it. But meanwhile, back at Arsenal's gaff, it was a 2-0 victory for Arsenal over Chelsea. Now, what about the bookmakers? What do they say for this one? Well, they fancy Chelsea to win it. They are 6-4 on, whereas Arsenal are 11-10. Now, these bookies' odds are to win it outright. It could be Chelsea winning it 17-2 that's a horrific scoreline. So these odds are outright winners. So this is basically to Chelsea to lift the trophy at the end of it. Whether it is via a 90-minute result or with it being a penalty result, whatever happens, if Chelsea pick up the trophy at the end of it, they're 6-4 on, whereas Arsenal 11-10. It's close. It is very close between the two of them. According to the bookies, this is from WilliamHill.com or something like that. So they might change and fluctuate. Obviously, rumour has it, just hot off the press, that Ruben Loftus-Cheek will probably be out for this one because he picked up an injury out in the USA with an irrelevant friendly, I think. You know, I don't know why they're playing friendlies. This is just a good reason for playing unnecessary friendlies at this part of the season. Yes, there's got a couple of weeks between then and now. I see that, but yeah, you're risking a lot. Imagine if it was Kepa, the keeper, if he got injured, or David Luiz, or Eden Hazard, or if any of those got an injury for the irrelevant game out in New England. Yeah. Anyway, so take all this into consideration. We move into the final, and we'll have a good old stab about it now. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Arsenal? But to be honest with you, I don't really care. Well, I do kind of care. It would be interesting to see if Arsenal, if Arsenal were to win it, will Tottenham still make the Champions League? Because they finished fourth. Will Arsenal leapfrog Tottenham and take it? You know, because that's the rumour. That's the rumour. I think it happened before. I think Tottenham fell short one time. I think when Liverpool won it last time, they finished below them in the table. So yeah, so I think that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Any UEFA specialist out there, comment in the old section down there below to tell me. I don't know. It is confusing. It is baffling. But anyway, my call here, I'm actually going for goals bonanza. I'm looking for some goals over these European encounters. I actually see 5 goals in it, folks. Whether it be in injury time, or whether it be in extra time, or whether it be in the full 90. I expect Chelsea to lose this one 3-2 on the night. And give it to Arsenal, and that would make it Unai Emery's trophy once again. So I'm going against the bookies and against the league table. I'm going for Arsenal, Aubameyang and all. Aubameyang, who else is up there? Lacazette, Ozil. They're going to come out on top with a big barnstorming 3-2 victory over in Azerbaijan, in Baku, to take over the trophy, and that will end their season, and they will enter the Champions League. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up, and if you do, smash the subscribe. The Europa League is coming to a close, but we'll be back probably fingers crossed, next year to do it all over again. Who's going to come out on top? Obviously, I think Manchester United may be in it. Wolves will be in it, I think. Watford could even be in it, depending on what goes on with the old FA Cup final. So, yes, hopefully they'll get their act together, because this is an outside shot for teams that are just outside the chasing pack, over in the Premier League anyway, to get into the to the Champions League. So, for example, let's just say Watford do win the FA Cup, and they have an outside, they'll go into this competition. They have a good, if they can go and do an Arsenal or a Chelsea and win it, they could be in the Champions League next season. How mad would that be? And what game changer that could be for a team outside the juggernaut top 3, 4 in the major clubs around Europe. So this, if taken seriously, could go a long way, unless you're Burnley, and then you're shit. So anyway, that's all I got for you. Check out the links in the old description to my social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, the hotly released Patreon page, boys and girls. If you want to be a Patreon, check that sucker out. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook if you want to catch up with me on the fly. The videos are slowly changing. I've got a couple of little plans in place over the next few days, weeks, as the seasons around Europe come to a close. But anyway, until then, stick your own thoughts and opinions about the Europa League final in the comments section down below. And of course, stand by for the old Champions League prediction, which will be out tomorrow. Till then, thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.